What's up, everybody? Steve here. Thank you for your time today. Home builders are starting to feel the impact of the current real estate market. I'm going to talk about an article, and also if you guys are in the process of possibly buying a new home, a new construction home, I'm going to add some tips to this as well. But it goes on to say, home builder sentiment drops for a fourth straight month as rising rates push housing to an inflection point. Now it goes on to say, sharply rising mortgage rates are taking their toll on the nation's home builders, as already pricing new construction becomes even less affordable. Builder confidence in the market for new single-family homes fell 2 points to 77 in April, according to the National Association of Home Builders. Any reading above 50 is considered positive sentiment, but the reading marks the fourth straight month of declines for the index, which stood at 83 in April 2021. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that, there's been supply chain issues and everything else. And yes, I agree. I'm located here in Southwest Florida. I'm a real estate broker in Southwest Florida. I have friends who are general contractors and are home builders, and they're all feeling the pinch of this, but we cannot deny the fact of interest rates not having an effect. Also, one other thing that I want to touch on, I did another video on this as well, is, I believe that we're going to see more inventory come to market with people backing out of contracts for home builders because they were anticipating a much lower rate if they were unable to lock rate. They're anticipating a much lower rate for their interest rate. And where we're at today, that interest rate is, we're sitting at 5.35% right now on a 30-year fixed. And so it's important to understand that we probably will see more inventory back on market, new construction inventory come back on market where just simply home buyers got nervous or they just simply couldn't afford the property. Despite low existing inventory, builders report sales traffic and current sales conditions have declined to their lowest point since last summer as a sharp jump in mortgage rates and persistent supply chain disruptions continue to unsettle the housing market. By the way, if you guys are interested in learning more about housing market updates, I'd appreciate you guys if you considered subscribing. The housing market faces an inflection point as an unexpectedly quick rise in interest rates, rising home prices, and escalating material costs have significantly decreased housing affordability conditions, particularly in the crucial entry-level market. And unfortunately, the entry-level market is insanely overpriced, in my opinion. I mean, what housing is really affordable these days unless you're house hacking? Now I got some notes here. Maybe these tips could help you out if you guys are in the market for new construction. Again, as mentioned, I'm a local real estate broker here, and a lot of these home builders, big and small, have my email address, and as well as a lot of the other local real estate agents. And we'll get emails of properties coming back on market. I just got a handful today. We'll get emails from them with any kind of incentives. We'll get emails from them of incentives for real estate agents where they actually increase the commission amount that they're willing to pay. And what happened over, since the pandemic, once things turned into a frenzy with home buying because mortgage interest rates were so low and so much money in the system, home builders were not as, let me put it this way, and I'm just going to give it to you straight. They were not as friendly to real estate agents, okay? In a slow market, down market, they are doing everything possible to earn your business. They're calling you. They're asking to come to your office to do a presentation and bring lunch and all that kind of stuff. And, pre-pandemic, that's how it was. They're calling us, telling us, 5% commissions if you bring us a buyer and everything else. Then fast forward into this frenzy, these home builders are, if you didn't show up with your client and register them, there's no way you're getting a commission, even if you called ahead in some cases, and a lot of them were being a little scandalous. And now the home builders, I think we're going to start seeing a shift here. Now, you as a buyer, if you guys are buying new construction and you're not in this huge rush to buy, we're going to see new inventory come to market. For one thing, if you go into any of these sales centers, ask if they know any properties that they think that somebody's going to back out, because that will happen. You can find that out from a sales rep. If it's a good sales rep, he might go back to his index of buyers and say, you know, these people are looking a little shaky right now. Maybe give me another week and I'll reach back out to you and we can put your name on the list for that property. As builders sit on inventory, they're going to provide more incentives. And these incentives, in many cases, are just, let's say, I mean, I've seen incentives where they're throwing in new pools. They're providing incentives toward closing costs. They're providing, you know, $20,000 toward whatever upgrades you want. Now, a lot of these homes might already have everything picked out and everything else, so you might not have incentives there, but, you know, just ask. It doesn't hurt to ask when you're sitting at the sales center, are there any incentives? So it might not happen now, but I think eventually all markets are going to cool down. Now, if you've not seen that video on home buyers backing out of contracts with home builders, you might want to take a look at that video next. And I appreciate every subscriber on this channel. Thanks for being here with me today.